Okay, everybody, welcome to the show. And I have the most amazing lady for you today. It is Janine Sullivan Blecci. Blecci. It's like my bike, Le Mans. You have to say Blecci with
You
like
have to
Blecci. Like you
you have
can't
to
just
pretend you have a
say
glass of
it.
Chianti in your
Yeah,
hand. Jean Sullivan Bellecci.
Blecci.
Yes.
Oh, she is one of the most fantastic people on the planet. It is my honor to have her on the show. Thank you so much for being here.
My honor to be here, sister.
You want to tell everybody in your own words what you do because trust me, we all need you in our lives.
Oh, thank you so much. Well, I'm Jean Sullivan Bellecci, and
Hmm.
I'm a soulmate coach, and I am a life coach who coaches through the lens of law of attraction. And I help empaths, especially high achieving ones, stop overgiving and start learning to receive. They have a lot of trouble doing that so that they can stop attracting relationship projects that drain them and attract a real partner who supports and elevates them. How's that?
That's so brilliant. And it's the reason we're all divorced as empaths is because we got rid of the one that, like, wow, you can get out of my life.
Yeah, 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 yeah. Time to move on to better pastures.
Yeah, and then we all end up having like this weird fear of the new guys are coming in and they're awesome, but we're terrified of them because we're like, I don't want another like hose bag, right?
Oh, 100%. And I think most of the empaths who come to me don't realize they're ambivalent about having a relationship. They know like that they really want to have a partner in their lives, but there's the part of them that's wounded and has been overly used and betrayed, who
Hmm.
is like, "Oh no, man, I no, I don't want to do this again." And that part's in charge and they don't know it.
It is. It is. And you're like, you make these really big deals about everything, and it's not a big deal. And we get in our own way and we don't even know it. Hmm.
Exactly.
Hmm. Yeah.
And I think what winds up happening is if they don't identify um, that they have two different energies going on in their vibration,
Hmm.
then the universe is going to go with the lower. So that's why I do what I do, because I'm trying to help empaths understand that ambivalence is what's causing them to have trap them on this hamster wheel of the same story over and over. They'll fall in love with the potential of someone, right? Um, but then they find out, you know, oh my gosh, I think I need to do a glow up on this person. And it becomes a full-time job. And then the other person, it turns out, because of their
Hmm.
fears, they attracted someone who's an emotional toddler or a fixer-upper or plain straight up energy vampire.
Hmm.
And they can never step up for them. So I'm trying to really help them stop this pattern. And it
Hmm.
doesn't necessarily have to take as long as you may think either.
Hmm. Okay, and so what's, for clarity's sake, what's ambivalent?
Ambivalence is where you have mixed feelings about something. So a part of an empath will be like, "Oh, yes, yummy. I want my dream relationship." And then there's the other part, the scared part that's like, "Uh-uh. I am not losing myself again. I am
Hmm.
not risking this again. I am not setting myself up for disappointment again."
Yeah,
And
that sounds about
so
right.
yeah. And so empaths wind up dimming their light so the other person doesn't feel insecure. They have an overdeveloped sense of responsibility, so they stay way too long. Um, and then they overgive, trying to make them into the partner with, if I just give them a little more love, they're going to step up for me. They're going to choose me. But then, like, you find out,
Nope.
like, you're exhausted, right? Resentful. And then you're Googling at 2 a.m. Like, how do I know if my partner's a narcissist, you know?
Right? And now we're all chat GPTing it. They said this.
True, true.
What's going on there? Is this a
Yeah, yeah,
red
yeah, yeah,
flag?
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
And the thing is, like most of my clients they also don't see themselves that this is what's going on because in other areas of their lives, they've manifested great things. They have like a powerhouse career or amazing spiritual circle of friends.
Hmm.
And people will look at them and go, oh, she's got it together. But
Hmm.
when it comes to love, they're not showing up in the same way. Um, they're like auditioning for the same role in a bad rom-com
One without a happy ending.
without the happy ending. Exactly.
Yeah. Ugh, gross. Okay. Okay, so what do you want all of us to know? All of the empaths, like, like, what would you be like if I could just sit you guys down and give you these three things? What would that be?
Well, I want them to know that their big, beautiful empathy is magnetic, right?
Mm,
Um, it's just that we have to put it in balance, right? We have to learn how to attract from our worth rather than our wounds. What does that mean? Well, we have
mhm,
to learn to distinguish a few things. One is we have to understand that sometimes as empaths, we confuse caretaking with connection.
mm,
We believe we have to work for love instead of just simply receiving it.
mhm,
And we mistake anxiety and drama for attraction and chemistry, which
mhm,
is another one.
mhm,
And that comes from the trauma bond. And then a big, big one that I want them to understand is there's a difference between empathy and compassion. You want to shoot for compassion. Empaths, unfortunately, when we get into trouble, is when we are so much in empathy that we want to fix it for someone. We feel sorry for them, and that triggers us into taking care of it for them. Um, so it makes us want to fix it for them, and compassion makes us stand there and support, maybe give them a gentle guidance, but we don't fix it for them. We empower them to fix it for themselves. So it's like the empath in normal empath mode is like taking their heavy backpack and carrying it around until they're exhausted and resentful. Compassion would be you're walking beside your partner, encouraging and maybe pointing out a better path while they carry their own backpack.
mhm.
Does that make
That's
sense?
oh, that's a really good way to put it. So we do get very resentful. Very.
Hmm.
It's like all of a sudden you snap and break, and it's like all of the anger comes out, right? And all of the crap that you hold in, right? You can't do this to me anymore. And the
Eh,
other person's like,
what happened?
what happened?
I know, and the thing is, what happens is that when we overgive,
Hmm.
um, we don't realize that we're blocking the other person from giving to us.
Mm,
Sometimes we're presenting such a perfect picture. I'm the one you can come to that people don't see us as vulnerable in a healthy way. They don't get to see the real us sometimes when
right.
we're just in that caretaking mode and we're not expressing any vulnerability. And that's because we're afraid, totally understandable.
Hmm.
Um, and what happens with the other person is they're overwhelmed by your giving, or maybe they're disempowered by it. Maybe they're getting the message, oh, she doesn't think I can do it for myself. Um, but also, if it's the case of straight relationships with a woman, being with a man will read overgiving as you're happy and they don't have to do anything.
Ugh.
It's not like giving to another woman. Another woman totally gets it. Oh, you want me to give back? It's not the same. They're not wired the same.
They're not. They're totally not.
Yeah. But the truth is you don't have to dim your light. You don't have to fix it
Mm,
to be loved. You deserve and absolutely can have someone who matches your energy and doesn't drain it. And
mhm.
so I thought, we could talk about getting back to your earlier question about, three things. I thought there could be three shifts we could start talking about.
Yeah,
So let's do
let's do it. Oh, I love you so much.
it. Well, the first the first shift I invite empaths to make has to do with self-forgiveness. And most of the time empaths will say, "Well, I've forgiven," but they haven't really forgiven themselves. They're carrying a lot of anger and resentment towards themselves.
Yep.
And it really gets in the way of them owning their value. So from a law of attraction perspective, we can't raise our vibration and attract a higher vibrational love while we're dragging around this hidden shame, blame, that harsh voice that's like inside of you going, "You should have known better. You deserve what you got." Um, I have that voice too. Her name is Gladys.
Oh, Gladys. Oh,
I
ooh,
call her Gladys.
I love giving that voice a name because then you realize it's not you.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
It's just your ego trying to protect you, really,
Yeah.
in a really dysfunctional way.
In a really
Um,
jerk off way.
yeah. And
Mhm.
and so the forgiveness part, there's a lot of ways to work on forgiveness, some that take some time, but there's a really quick way. I'm sure some of your listeners have heard of the Ho'oponopono prayer,
Mhm.
the ancient Hawaiian prayer of reconciliation, and you can do it with people you need to forgive, even if they've passed on, or you can do it with yourself. Um,
Mhm.
to me, it's about not letting the other person or yourself off the hook. You know, if somebody's done something that was wrong, you're not letting yourself off the hook. If you've done something wrong, it's not letting yourself off the hook. It's just releasing the shame and the blame around
Mhm.
it and just getting the lesson from it. It's just a lesson. It's not a definition of who you are if you make a mistake. Um, and it's not excusing the other person who harmed you. It's just setting yourself free from that energetic cord that is still between you when you're still resentful, hanging on to the hurt, if that makes sense. So we just
Yeah.
want to let go of that.
Mhm.
Um, sometimes, it can happen really quickly. Law of attraction, I guess, is really more than visualizing what you want. It requires you to be aligned with the higher vibration of having that love you want, but you can't receive it if there's this part of you that's not feeling good about yourself, that's doubting that you can have what you want. Most of my peeps really doubt. They're really in scarcity. They really have a hard time. They can see it for other people, but they can't see it for themselves. Like, this is going to happen for me because so much has happened in the past. And there's a part of them that thinks this is always going to be this way. But it's not. That's not the truth. It's just a story.
Mhm.
And I know this series is about stories. And so in the next step, after we do the forgiveness, I want to deal with stories a little bit more. But um, one thing I just wanted to say before the forgiveness is when empaths are in this state of scarcity and wanting, when you're feeling that sense of urgency, like you have to try to make it happen, you know, that's really, that works in the office when you're trying to make things happen. But when it comes to love, it's really showing a sense of doubt, um, a sense of fear, sense of control. And that's not the vibration of getting what you want. So, a big step towards releasing all that and starting to raise your vibration would be to forgive yourself. And should I just read a couple of signs?
Do it. Yep.
Okay. So if in case there are people listening that are like, I've forgiven myself. I've done all that. I get that a lot. And I'm like, just
Trust
let's
me.
let's just take another look,
Yep.
right? Okay. If you're maybe a little bit judgmental, could be you find yourself being really judgmental of other people. That's a really good sign that you're mostly being judgmental of yourself, that
Mhm.
there's something about them that is just really triggering you about yourself. Because empaths in general are pretty easygoing. So when they get into judgmental mode, it's a sign. Something's up.
I feel so seen.
The another sign you may not have forgiven yourself is you're stingy with yourself.
Oh.
Don't give yourself pleasure, rest, kindness. They all feel unearned to you. Um, or you don't set boundaries or even say no, even though your soul is screaming to say no.
Mhm.
You either feel guilty for that or people have told you in the past you're selfish for saying no.
Mm.
Uh, Another sign is you stay in situations too long out of guilt or fear, or in my case, an overdeveloped sense of responsibility for other people.
Mhm.
Um, or if you're like your biological clock is ticking because you want to return on your investment, all those things. And I say none of this with any kind of judgment. I just want to help people to feel seen so that they
Mhm.
can recognize themselves and move on.
Mhm.
But all these things are just signs, part of you saying, I just don't fully believe I deserve or can have better, if that makes sense.
Yeah. Yeah.
So let's just do a quick Ho'oponopono prayer, but I do it a little differently.
Oh, cool.
So the Ho'oponopono prayer is simply, it's just four phrases.
Mhm.
I'm sorry.
Mhm.
Please forgive me.
Mhm.
Thank you. I love you.
Mhm.
We're just going to do it in a longer way, but I'm inviting you to close your eyes,
Okay.
put your hand on your beautiful heart, take a deep breath in, exhale, tune into your body, which is so connected to your intuition, and just allow all your thoughts to drift away. And just allow yourself to think of one thing you'd like to forgive yourself for. Could be about relationships or something else. Just some sort of grudge you might be holding or judgment against yourself. Hmm. Now, I invite you to locate where that stuck energy lives in your body. Just trust yourself to figure out where that discordance is. And gently notice, if you can, the color, if it has any colors or textures, density. Very good. Now I invite you to tune into your divine, compassionate heart. That unconditional, loving part of you that shows up so freely for others. And in a moment, I'm going to invite you to direct that self-compassion, that compassion inward to the self. Now, as you direct that self-compassion to that energy mass, I invite you to repeat softly out loud or in your mind the ancient Ho'oponopono prayer. I'm so sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. I love you. Now let's say that two more times together. Continue setting the intention of self-forgiveness and release. I am so sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. I love you. I'll do it one more time. I'm so sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. I love you so much. And just allow yourself to breathe out the stuck energy, feel it dissolve. Allow your higher power or your guides to just dismute that energy as it leaves your body. Just let that self-compassion, that beautiful unconditional love energy fill the empty spaces left behind. Let it fill every cell, helping you to feel warmer, softer, cherished. Just hold that feeling of self-cherishment. We're going to hold it for 17 seconds. Don't worry, I'll do the counting. In law of attraction, 17 seconds is just enough to change the momentum of any negativity that's been building and start shifting it forward. So hold on to that cherishment. Give yourself a beautiful, delicious hug. Take a deep breath and just do another release. Now, when you're ready, start to open your eyes. Recognize that you've made a small shift and that you can go back to this when you're on your own and revisit this. Um, you can do it as many times as you wish. The key is to really set the intention that you deserve forgiveness just as much as the people that you forgive so easily. You do. And the moment that you start to cherish yourself and realize that any mistakes you've made were really just lessons, in law of attraction, people are so afraid of contrast, but it's that contrast that wakes us up so that we have that desire for something better. So sometimes the contrast is really a gift. So instead of beating ourselves up about it, that these are mistakes to punish ourselves for, these were just lessons to awaken to something better. I hope that makes sense.
It does, because, without white, there is no black,
Mm-hmm.
right? It's all,
Yeah,
you need all of it.
you definitely do.
Yeah.
And I think, most empaths, I think, are here for a bigger purpose. And I think that pain is what catapults them into whatever healing paradigm or medium that they use to heal other people. Um, it's really a blessing at the end of the day. And I don't minimize whatever anyone's going through. I really don't. But that contrast is so vital to expansion. And today, with everything the way it is, and the world is in chaos, we need expansion more than ever.
Yeah. Yeah, we definitely do.
Definitely.
Yeah. Yeah,
So,
absolutely.
you want to
So,
start rewriting the love story?
yes.
So, another thing I like to do is, once we work on forgiveness and however long that takes, it's not a process you can really rush. In a conversation, we kind of have to a little bit, but once you forgive, you have to check in with the stories going on in your head, and a lot of them are uncovered, they're suppressed. Um, and we call them in coaching limiting beliefs. And limiting beliefs, unfortunately, some people think they're kind of like a life sentence, like, but all it is a story you tell yourself over and over. That's
Mhm.
it.
That's it.
And change the story.
Mhm.
You just have to, what we say in law of attraction, move up the emotional scale, which means changing the thoughts that stir up your emotions. And you have to keep choosing thoughts that are more positive and bring you relief from the negative limiting beliefs. But you can't go from I'm crap to I'm the best thing on this planet. Yes.
Yeah.
But the key is first, let's get aware of what are you carrying? What are you carrying around with you? I had a client, Lydia, who to look at her, you wouldn't have thought she had any problems. You know, she was
Mhm.
very happy-go-lucky appearing, presenting. Um, but she was in a very unhappy marriage, with some abuse. And when she got her divorce, and she's after the first year, she was so focused on like selling her house, getting her kids sorted, that
Mhm.
she didn't date, which was a good thing. You should take a break.
Mhm.
But then when she was ready, she said, every time I go on a date, Jean, I keep seeing my ex and I just keep re-traumatizing myself. And the exercise we're about to do a shorter version of, we did together for about an hour. And she said it changed her life. And she's now with somebody. It took her, now she didn't even set the intention. I said, okay, like, don't rush, just go live your life. Start testing out life without these burdens that you were carrying before. And she felt so much freer. She attracted a really amazing man. And she said, I just feel so lucky. And I tell this story because she was really getting triggered by every date, but then just sometimes just taking this extra step of healing work, you can release yourself and change your life like that. It doesn't have to take 5 more years of therapy. It's
Mhm.
just rewriting the script, if that makes sense.
Mhm.
Okay, so here's what we're going to do.
Okay.
Should you choose to accept this mission,
Oh, yes.
I'm going to read some affirmations.
Okay. I love a
And
mission.
yeah, yeah, yeah. But they're really meant to be, instead of like, yeah, I believe these. No,
Mhm.
you don't, not yet. Maybe,
Liar. Yeah.
maybe some of them, maybe
Yeah.
some of them. But I'm going to read a bunch of common affirmations. And what I want you to look for is the
Okay.
part of you that's like, I don't believe it.
Okay.
So there may be ones where you feel nothing. It just kind of floats past you. That's cool. That means that one's not for you. If you start to feel heaviness, tears, any
Mhm.
kind of discordance,
Mhm.
heat,
Mhm.
movement, it's for you. And that's just allow whatever that movement is, just allow it to leave.
Okay.
Ready? Okay, so close your eyes.
Am I telling you?
Just relax into your body. Connect with your beautiful, gorgeous, divine heart. And now I'm going to read the affirmations. It's safe for me to be fully seen and still be respected, valued, and loved. Just check in, notice without judgment. Breathe out if you need to. Okay, next one. I can be loved deeply without needing to fix or prove anything. Check in. Release any discordant energies if they're there. Okay, the next one. It's safe to let go and allow other people to support me. I deserve and know I can have love that gives as much as I do. Next one. The right people will love me more when I express my needs and speak my truth. It's safe to be powerful and vulnerable. The right partner values the real me, shadow and light, not just what I offer them. Love, like the kind I desire, is real and available to me. I trust myself to choose love that honors who I am. And lastly, I trust the universe will send me a love that supports and elevates me instead of drains me. Just for a moment, I invite you to open your eyes. And if it feels okay to share, were there any in particular that you noticed some discordance or movement, sadness?
No, not discordant. No, not those, but more like, oh, right. Like, huh, well, that seems obvious. Like, that's how that should work. Yeah.
But that you could you sense though that's how it should work, but it's not something you quite believe yet.
Oh, that's interesting. Uh, so if we're going with believing being something that I experience, then not quite, not quite,
Yeah.
right? Like,
Hmm.
yeah,
Well, when you say that's how it should work, that's the other part of you talk, you're Gladys saying,
yeah.
oh, well, I haven't experienced that yet, but
Mm,
would like to. And not everyone is going to identify with all of those, but
mhm,
if you if there is a pattern then of relationships that fall into what we were talking about earlier, the imbalanced
mhm.
relationship. And there's some version of these that part of you is buying into because of the hurt in the past or limiting beliefs. So I thought what I would do just for the people listening who may
Mhm,
have related some more than others, I'd like to do
mhm,
some I'm so sorry statements that are another form of directed very intentional self-compassion. And this is going to clear away a lot of the beliefs that you may be carrying. So just don't try to force it. Just don't try to make it happen. But don't also turn it into an I statement. I want you to, when I say, for example, I'm so sorry, you, I want you to say,
Mhm.
I'm so sorry, you, internally, or you can say it out loud. Because it's as if you were speaking to your Gladys or your inner child, and you're directing beautiful self-compassion to that part of you as you say these things. Because perhaps no one in your life has said it for you. You ready?
Mhm. Mhm.
Okay. So put your hand on your beautiful heart. That
I accepted the
gorgeous.
mission.
Just allow any emotion that may arise for any of these to arise and just breathe them out with ease. I'm so sorry you thought you weren't enough. I'm so sorry they told you you were too much. I'm so sorry you thought you had to heal, fix, prove yourself to be loved. I'm so sorry it wasn't safe to be powerful. I'm so sorry you thought you had to earn love by being perfect or useful. I'm so sorry you learned to be strong instead of supported. I'm so sorry you stayed in one-sided relationships because you were afraid to be left behind. I'm so sorry you never felt fully chosen by someone. I'm so sorry you were made to feel like your needs didn't matter. I'm so sorry you believed being extraordinary meant being alone. I'm so sorry you were made to feel like there's no one out there who can meet you where you are. I'm so sorry you stopped trusting yourself and the universe after being let down so many times. I'm so sorry you couldn't rely on them when it really mattered. And lastly, I'm so sorry you stopped believing in magic. Now pause and take a deep breath. And as you release, say these things to yourself. It is safe to release this old story now. I allow this old story and all these energies to dissolve from my energetic field. I allow myself to tell myself a new story that feels lighter, clearer, brighter with who I really am. When you feel ready, go ahead and open your eyes. And what is that for you?
That one hit closer. Yeah.
Well, we're used to compartmentalizing, aren't we? Right?
Mhm.
It's hard to recognize these things. We're so used to over functioning instead of really facing our pain. I mean, I don't want to assume that's what you were doing. I know that's what I was doing um, when I was hitting brick walls in dating and finding the right person.
Mhm.
Uh, I really couldn't see. I thought I had a really good self-esteem because I had manifested great things in other areas of my life, but it was just hard for me to see and it was hard for Lydia to see too. But then when I read some of these statements, she was just like, you know, and some of them had to do with being a woman in the world, a female identified in the world, or, feeling powerless and in a situation in your family that you couldn't get out of and things like that. Things that maybe we just developed a stiff upper lip about,
Mhm.
you know. Well, I'm glad that you resonated with some of those. And I do believe as you do this, you move some of that energy. Um, if there were any in particular that you feel like you need to say again to yourself, just go ahead and do that on your own. You may even come up with some others now that you get the concept and you can
Mhm.
work on your own.
That's what's so great about this is you literally can do this anywhere, anytime. That you don't have to learn anything. You can just and it's I don't think we realize as women how much connecting to our own inner voice and to give ourselves the emotional space, like empaths and women, I'm sure it's with men too, but just to sit down and be like, whoa, hey,
Hmm.
yeah.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Um, And I think another part of this, like if I were to say like a third shift, I would invite people to make. And
Mhm.
this is the secret sauce to attracting a really beautiful partner. And that is to become your unapologetic self, your unapologetically authentic self. And um, it's funny because, sometimes people think authenticity means honest. And honesty without compassion is cruelty. Have you ever heard somebody who like, I was just being honest, but they just, like a poison dart at you, you know?
Totally. Yeah.
Yeah. Um, Unapologetic authenticity is like flying your freak flag. It's coming to a place where you've released enough of the shame, the blame, you've forgiven yourself enough, you've changed enough of those stories in your head with intention to start owning your value. Like, I have value just by being here. Maybe I've made mistakes, but now I see they were lessons. They're not reasons to shame myself. Um, I do deserve to ask the universe for more. I don't know if you ever heard that Jim Carrey story, where he said he was like completely broke living in Hollywood, and he would drive up to the top of Mulholland Drive and he would have this law of attraction check for $10 million. And he would say, oh, for services rendered, I have this check for, Hollywood producers recognizing me and loving my work. And this check is going to be cashed by, and it had like a date of 3 years later. And he would just go up to Mulholland Drive and just sit there and just luxuriate in having all this. Um, and after a while, he really began to believe it. And then just before the deadline, he got the offered the role of Dumb and Dumber, which he was paid $10 million for. And so I think when I bring up the unapologetic authenticity, it's getting to a place where you can ask for that $10 million check, whatever that is for you. It could be the dream relationship, could be whatever it is
Mhm.
that you can believe. You can open up at least the window to start believing you can have it and you deserve it. So, okay, I wanted to say a few more things about this. It's like
Yeah.
when you feel really comfortable with yourself and you feel it enough at peace with yourself that you know you can honestly say you like yourself. Maybe you're like not happy with everything about yourself, but you like yourself. You're reasonably at peace with yourself. That
Mhm.
is incredibly magnetic to be around. People can sense that
Mhm.
when you feel like you don't have to tone yourself down to be chosen.
Mhm.
Right partner, won't just tolerate your light, they'll celebrate it.
Mhm.
Um, the key is to start reclaiming your joy and power, your purpose without a partner. So many of them will say to me, well, I'll get that dream house or I'll get that dream job when I have my partner and I can lean on them while I do it. The key is, though, when you are coming at it from that point of view, you're really saying, I can't do it for myself.
Yeah.
And that attracts people who are only going to get in your way and distract you from your purpose.
Mhm.
So I always invite people to, what is it that you dream about? What do you want to change in your life? And just start taking baby steps towards that. You don't have to have it all figured out. Make time for things that bring you joy, that are fun. So many times people come to me and I could tell they're fun people, but they are not making space for that. They are showing up like really earnest and serious, but not a good vibe, because they're very tense and doubting that they can have what they want,
Yeah.
you know. Um, And so, what I would invite anyone listening, if there's a part of you holding back, not sharing your gifts with the world, um, not owning your own needs and boundaries, go ahead and start doing those. And I promise you, that is your secret sauce to attracting the right person. Um, when I was dating my ex, I was always overperforming. I was always, you know, trying to give him the glow up,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah.
And he couldn't meet me where I was at. He didn't want to.
No.
And, when I realized that and I took a couple of years off
Mhm.
and I started, like, when I first put myself out there, I noticed I was projecting in my dating profile, positivity and self-respect and all those things, but I was only attracting 25-year-old men and I was well into my 40s then. And I wasn't looking. I was an accidental cougar. I wasn't trying to
Yeah.
be. And I realized, okay, what is up with this? And I realized that I was not being authentic. I was afraid to show things that would turn some people off.
Mhm.
But if you don't turn some people off, you're wasting your time. You're trying to appeal to everyone. You just have to appeal to your soulmates. And so when I kind of got comfortable with that, and I said, let me just be unapologetically authentic, I started talking about marriage,
Mhm.
that I wanted marriage. And I said, I want the ring, I want the proposal, I want the paper. Not everybody needs it, but I do. And, I was told by so many dating experts, don't say that. It makes you look like a gold digger or it makes you look needy. No, I was just saying this is what I want.
Yeah.
That's it. Just declaring it. And it wasn't even in an angry way. This is what I want. I also said I want a man who will take me to drag shows.
Amazing.
Maybe enjoy it, but you'll at least take me to one or two every once in a while. And the funny thing happened is there was an immediate, as soon as I posted that, there was an immediate reaction, response from the universe. Not only did my husband wink at me, but all these extraordinary men that I had never been approached by before. And
Mhm.
I know it was because of that shift in how I was showing up. 100%. And so that's really my message is that whatever parts of you that you feel are weird, start
Mhm.
thinking of them as wonderfully weird, embrace them and share it. Put it out there because that's how your soulmates are going to recognize you. The people who really deserve you. How's that landing for you?
That makes me want to cry.
I have that now. And let me tell you, I just want people to understand when I was dating, I was 300 pounds. I was, well into middle age, spinster age.
Mhm.
And I was told I was too much all the time.
Mhm.
And I have someone who loved me then, loves me as my thinner self now, um, has seen me at my absolute friggin' worst
Mhm.
and isn't afraid of it. He loves me exactly as I am. He's willing to fight for the relationship.
Which is just hot.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he wants to give me what I need just as much as I want to do it for him. And I just want people to know that. Like, I mean, some probably would have said I was a lost cause. I used to be told I was too picky or whatever. I mean, they just kind of gave me the message that my dating pool was a puddle.
Yeah.
I was in, one person put it very diplomatically, I was a niche product.
Whoa, whoa, that's so shady, right? Like, I don't even think Bianca Del Rio would say that to you, right? Like, come on.
Bianca Del Rio, I love that you know who Bianca Del Rio is.
Oh, listen, I have been roasted by her in person.
Whoa, how
Oh,
awesome.
oh, it was amazing. And the
Gary.
best the best thing about her is so she's roasting my friend up on stage and then I get up on there too and she's roasting both of us. And then we go to leave and she puts her hand on the mic and she's like, "I'm so sorry. Thank you so much for coming to my show. Seriously, I love you. I didn't mean any of that. Thank you so much." Like she'll tear you apart, but then she's like, "I honestly love you and I don't mean any of that." She's so fantastic.
That's amazing. I mean, that is one of
Mm-hmm.
the things that I love about drag queens is that's part of the culture is learning how to throw shade, but with
Mm-hmm.
love. Don't mean any of it. It's just all in good fun.
Yeah.
It's never supposed to be mean.
No, no, it's like that really great friend who's like, seriously, really? You're gonna try that story again? Right? And it's like, oh, no, not really. Like they just call you out on stuff and it's fantastic.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Very cool.
hmm, yeah, I love it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, this has been so fantastic.
I really appreciate you let me share some of this with you today. And I really hope that, someone out there, multiple people out there have seen something within themselves and it's just invited them to just start making the changes. Just change your mind about what's possible for you.
Yeah.
If it happened for me, it can absolutely happen for you.
Hmm. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. When you give yourself the space.
Yeah, I see a lot of really scary dating advice out there.
Hmm.
Uh, and a lot of it is designed to really play on insecurities.
Hmm.
And sometimes people give away their power and they're looking for like magic bullets, magic pills
Yep.
to fix their pattern. But No one can do that better than you. Sometimes you may need a little guidance, but you need support and you need to give yourself that space to just have a good chat with yourself and let go of the old story. That's really all it is. It's just changing your story, changing your mind about what's possible for you. And you can change it.
You're the best person to. Yeah. So if any of our fabulous audience was like, I need more of Janine in my life, which really, who doesn't? How can they get a hold of you?
They can go to my website, which is soulmatecoach.com, or they can find me on Instagram, Facebook at my soulmate coach. Um, on my website, there are ways to take like a free quiz, or you could book a session with me, whatever it is that you need. I even have some free videos up there. Um, yeah, that's it.
Beautiful. I love it. Thank you.
You're
So
welcome. Thank you
fantastic.
for inviting me. I'm glad we had a chance to connect today. It's good to see you again.
I know it's so good to see you too. Yeah. Thank you to the audience for watching. We absolutely love it when you do that. And I hope you had as many aha moments as I did today. And we'll see you guys on the next show.